How do we know that parentem meum means my father and not my mother or my unspecified parent? If you don't have any grammar, this is the kind of question that can stump you. But a little preparation will make passages like this clearer. I'll give you a link on the next page to a fuller discussion of gender in Latin nouns. For the moment, it's enough to know that there are 3 genders. Every noun is either masculine, feminine, or neuter. If a noun is feminine and an adjective describes it, that adjective will take the feminine form. If a noun is masculine, the adjective will take the masculine form, and so on. The Latin noun parens, from which parentum comes, can be feminine or masculine, depending on whether you're talking about your mother or your father. Here, meum is the masculine form of the adjective, so we know that parentem must also be masculine. That's a small taste of the grammar. Let's get on to the vocabulary. Qui means those who. Parentem, you will remember, means a parent. Meum is my. Trucidaverant means they murdered. I suppose you could think of it as truculent, but to an extreme degree. Eos means them. In, we've seen before, it means into. Exilium is exile. Expuli means I expelled. Once you've heard that, it's pretty easy to remember. A lot of Latin vocabulary has these links to English. Judiciis. In Latin, when a word starts with the letter I and another vowel, you can often figure out the English meaning by sounding that I as a J. That's the way Latin was pronounced in classical studies about 100 years ago. We used to say Julius Caesar. Now we say Julius Caesar, which is what he might have shouted himself as he swept down on your village. Remembering that J sound here, we might guess that judicis would have something to do with judges and the law. Legitimis means legitimate. Ultus is avenging. I can't think of a common English descendant for that. One of George Bernard Shaw's characters says, "My mission here is to wreak ultion for the broken law." But we don't talk like that anymore, if we ever did. We've seen eos, meaning them. Eorim means of them. Facinus is a crime or a wicked deed. Postea means afterwards. Bellum means war. You may know the word antebellum, which is used in America to refer to the period before the Civil War. Inferentis. Fer means to bring, in means into, so this is bringing something in. With the word bellum, this means waging war, bringing war in on somebody. Rei and publicae. Res means a thing, and res publica means a public thing. Together the two words res publica mean the republic. Re publicae is on the republic. So bellum inferentis re publicae, waging war on the republic. Wiki, you might remember from Julius Caesar's Veni Vidi Vici. It means I conquered. People in France sometimes shout bis for an encore. It means twice. Achaia is in battle. We haven't done very well today with English equivalents, but it's a good simple passage once you know the words. We'll listen to the passage now, and then I'll talk briefly about what it's from.
Qui parentem meum trucidaverunt, eos in exilium expuli, judiciis legitimis ultus eorum facinus, et postea bellum inferentis rei publicae, vici bis Achaeae.
Go back over those words until you're confident you know them. Then I'll talk a bit about their author. Augustus was the first, and many would think the greatest, emperor of Rome. Towards the end of his very long life, he published a kind of last testament in which he described all the things he had done for Rome. It's called Res Gestae. We've seen res meaning thing in res publica. Res Gestae means things done. So, the things I've done, or what I've achieved. Let's read through it now. We won't make any attempt at good English, just substitute the phrases you've learned for the Latin that's in front of you. Expuli, of course, is the root of expulsion. He wrote ulcian on them. Veni, vidi, vici. This could easily be misunderstood. A war is being waged here, but how do we know who's doing the waging? Is it Augustus or his enemies? You can answer that in 3 ways, and they're all perfectly legitimate. The first is from knowledge. You may know that Augustus constantly presented himself as the defender of the Republic, which makes it very unlikely he's bragging about making war on it. The second is from context. This is a man's CV or resume. He's not likely to use it to confess to a major crime. The third, and maybe the most reliable way, is to know a little grammar. Inferentis is plural, so it refers to the multiple enemies rather than the singular avenger. You might think Augustus is using the royal we, talking about himself in the plural, but we've already seen him say meum and expuli, which are both singular. Please don't think that figuring this out from knowledge or context, if that's what you did, is cheating, while using the grammar is judicis legitimis. We read every language through a huge collection of context and knowledge. Why try to turn that off just because it's a new language we're learning? Well done with that passage. Do follow the links to the grammar, even if it's just for entertainment. This was your 3rd lesson, and I think the most difficult. We'll push on in the next segment with a bit of modern fun. First, I'll look at some more of Augustus's review of his own life.